A beautiful Friday. Good morning to you all. How are we doing today? Saturday, good morning. If you're watching the stream recap, don't worry. I'm thinking about you too. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? We're back on PokeMMO, preparing in sort of in a middle ground period between the Halloween events and event season in general, heading into the upcoming Christmas event, possible things going on, things like Christmas raids. We just don't really know. A possible new Uber tier legendary that could be temporarily owned, similar to Darkrai. Anything is possible with this upcoming Christmas event. That's the big thing that we need to understand. We are leaving behind the old Elfbot event, which, you know, used to be the event of choice. Going to Twist Mountain, doing the dungeon there, getting Elfbot stuff. We finished all the Elfbots. We finished all the typings of Elfbot costumes. We even did fairy Elfbot stuff, which is what I wear on my main account actually in game. So we're moving on. In PokeMMO, it's going to be a new year, an exciting new Christmas event, which I'm really excited for. So it's cool to see old holiday content actually finally get replaced. But today I'm making storyline progress on an alt account called Dr. Nasty that I named that in 2013 when I was like 15 years old. So excuse the name. But I have 4 gym badges obtained, and I'm making progress on this account. I want to have it eventually all the storylines done, but really as many storylines done as possible. And it's funny because this is an account that has 8 hours of game time on it, right? Since 2013. There's so much more that needs to be done on this account. A lot needs to be done. And I like having it on the same login. So this is an account that's on the same login as a Patrouski account, so I can abuse the account box. The account box is just super good. So today we're going to be casually making our way through Kanto, just sort of having fun, answering questions from chat, talking to you guys, figuring out what people are worried about or wondering about in regards to the upcoming events and what's happening in PokeMMO, and just working our way through Kanto. So next up is the Rocket Hideout. We just got our 4th gym badge with Erica, so we can access the GTL, so we could start making Pokeyen on this account if we really needed to. But I'm really here for storyline progress and maybe catching alphas and such as they come along. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. But good morning, welcome to PokeMMO Stream Recap 222, I believe. It's an honor to have you all. Hope you're having a great day, and hopefully you're playing some PokeMMO on the side while watching. This is a really common sentiment. I want to let players know that it's totally okay, and obviously just make progress at your own pace and like do what you can do, and only play PokeMMO if it's fun for you, you know? But someone said, yeah, I just came back from a long break and I missed the Halloween event, but I'm feeling very hyped for Xmas. Dude, I want to make a video very soon talking about how PokeMMO is like a very seasonal game for a lot of people. And as exciting, as interesting, and fun as event seasons are, they also burn people out. A lot of people get burned out after Halloween events, after Christmas, and then end up not doing the Lunar New Year event, or they're burned out for the Halloween event and then end up not doing, you know, people miss. It's more likely that people on average miss 1 or 2 events versus doing all 3. Doing all 3 events is really intense and really tough. And it's really only for, like for turbo nerds like myself, right? Like if you do all 3 events and you participate in them all and you do, then you're working really hard. And it's awesome. It's very, very cool. But it's normal to let it be known to miss certain events. It's a lot, man. There's a lot going on during these like 2 weeks periods. Also, like, people are spending hours and weeks prepping for these 2-week little segments, all the Pokeyen stuff, right? As well as in those 2-week periods, a lot of times people are playing 10 hours a day for multiple days, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days sometimes. So it's a ton. Pat, I've had this question for a while now. What can I realistically do to save for the event as a player who has 3 regions done? I feel like I've missed out on the Halloween event because I was such a new player. So asking for a new player who come. So just asking for the new players who come before the event. The best thing you can do as a new player before events is just try to, number 1, complete Kanto, because generally Kanto is the best for events. You probably noticed that during the Halloween event, most calls get done in Kanto because it's the region that's been in the game the longest, so the most amount of people have it done, if that makes sense. As well as, a little bit of my storyline stuff, as well as just get as many regions done as possible and try to save up as much Pokeyen as possible. That's a really boring answer, is just try to get as much done as possible and save up as much Pokeyen. If you're a new player as well, like, feel free to build like a Typhlosion that can be used for gym runs and PVM. There's certain Pokemon that can be dual used or like used in multiple ways, multifaceted, I guess. So there's tons of things you can do, but it's important. New players shouldn't expect to, and probably shouldn't be able to. I know it sounds a little mean, but you shouldn't be able to do all the content. If you're new to something by definition, you shouldn't have access to all the content or be able to do everything that players have worked so hard to be able to do. I always compare it to, like, most grindy games, like MMOs, are very comparable to going to the gym, right? if someone is brand new to the gym, they can't really participate. I mean, they can participate, but they're not really gonna do well or be able to do well in like weightlifting competitions. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, imagine being new to the gym and complaining that someone can lift more weights than you, right? It's like, well, that guy's been there for years, like working on himself and like making that progress. Like, you shouldn't see that and be like, oh man, like that's unfair. You should see that and be like, wow, that's motivating. I want to reach that stage, right? I feel like that's a really important mindset thing to factor in. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I feel like I'm already seeing some of that. Like, I didn't have to battle a trainer, but I don't think I had the key, the lift key. But then also, like, the stairs weren't revealed in the thing. Yeah, I'm having some weird quirks. And it wouldn't surprise me if I see some weird quirks while doing this storyline. Because keep in mind, this is an account that I did half the storyline on back in 2013. This game and the storyline has changed tremendously since that time period. I had a similar thing on my main account where I had never gotten the cast form trade Pokemon or egg Pokemon or whatever in like the Hoenn storyline, and I went and I tried to get it and it wasn't there. And I had for sure never gotten it before. It was like some super weird. So like there are weird bugs occasionally. If you're playing an account that is so old, you know, and has weird storyline progress stuff, it might make for some weird quirks. So I'll see if I can find or point any of those out during the storyline, but so far it's mostly minimal. I'm gonna follow this guide. Do you think an in-game creator status would be good addition, like maybe a special cosmetic or a special color on the OT, maybe even like an in-game dev status? I personally, there's no right or wrong answer to this. I personally don't really want this. This was actually offered to me on a different game, Pokemon Blaze Online. They were like, hey, we're starting a creator program, and we were wondering if you wanted, like, you know, like all these like 5% shiny boost, like all these benefits. And I was like, no, I don't want that. As a content creator, that's not something I want. If they want to work with me and like have some sort of sponsorship or collaboration, I'm so down to like try to show off cool Pokemon games, especially Pokemon MMOs. But I don't want any special treatment or any in-game benefits just because I make content. Because I don't want that. I want the same experience as everybody else. I want to be able to understand that experience. I want to be able to help people. I can't help people if my experience is like different to that degree, you know. Obviously, to some extent, I do have streamer privilege. You know, it's there. I can't deny it. But I want to keep it as minimal as possible, right? That's the big thing. So I don't really want any more recognition or any like. It's not beneficial to me. It's not. I don't see any use in it personally. All right, but back to the storyline progress. That is Giovani defeated, and I think from this point, I got the Silph scope. I can just head straight up, back up the elevator, and move on to the next part. So that was actually pretty quick, using just a really easy Fire Red, Leaf Green, Team Rocket Hideout guide from 8 years ago on YouTube. Beautiful stuff. Next up is blasting through Lavender Tower. I'm going to be leading with my Lucario with Crunch, who's probably just going to obliterate all these Ghastlies, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I want to I don't know exactly where I'm at in the storyline, so I don't want to double check. I have the Silph. Well, if I just got the Silph scope, and there's no way I haven't. Okay, gone. So we're gonna go. We have a rival fight here as well. This will be interesting. Let's see how this plays out. I'm probably gonna Swords Dance and obliterate him would be my guess, but we'll see. Yeah, rival battle. I almost forgot about the rival battle. It's been a long time that I played Kanto. I want to do a Unova guide decently soon. I've been sitting at like early game Unova on my other account, Snooki, for quite a while. So once I'm feeling up to that, I'll try to record a proper guide for that. I'm gonna go ahead and just set up one SD and then start crunching. I should be able to obliterate this guy with, I think, any move of attacks from this point forward. One side beam coming out doing 25%. That is absolutely nothing for my Fox. What even is Lucario? Fox Demon? No, it's not my Pokedex. Huh. All right, here it is, fellas. The awakening of the Ghost Marowak. We have the Silph scope to be able to take it on. A classic moment in the Pokemon storylines. Let's kill her. In fact, let's one-shot her with a close combat. See you later, mate. Murder the mother. I don't know why that's the solution to this ghost problem in the Pokemon world, but that's what we all did as kids. It was calmed. Departed to the afterlife. Unlucky. Alrighty, fellas. I asked Tallyhack if it was okay if I showed these on stream, and he said it was. He wants help, our help, helping him to decide on what screenshot he should submit to the current screenshot competition that is happening right now in PokeMMO. If you don't know, there's a competition called Looking Sharp, and it's a screenshot competition where you can win a shiny Carvana or a shiny Sharpedo. I think it's awesome that you can win like really good shinies via fashion in PokeMMO. It's one of the coolest things. So let's go through. Here's the first one. We have like 6 to 8. We have a few. Number 1, number 2. Okay, number 2 is quite cool. Number 3. Beautiful. My critique would be, I don't know if this follower sprite is the best for this spot. It's not bad, but not the best. Number 4, this one's coolish. I like the stained glass here. Number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. Do you guys have any suggestions, any ideas, etc., etc.? I have a clear winner in my mind, honestly. So what I would do if I were you is I would actually retake this screenshot / these two are my favorite. I think this is one of the more unique ones I've seen. This is extremely unique. I haven't seen someone do a space themed one. This is very cool with the rocket launching. Like, this is sick, right? What I would do if I were you, I know you're on mobile. I'm assuming there's something on mobile. On PC, it's F12, I think. There should be a way for you to turn off your HUD. And I strongly, if you're doing the screenshot competition, you should do this for everybody should turn off their HUD because it looked way better, right? So if I were to, let me go over to my game really quick. Here's my game with the HUD on, and here's with it off, right? Much cleaner. Obviously, you see this chat box and stuff that clogs it still on stream, but like having your HUD off is so much cleaner and so much better for screenshots. So make sure to do that. Now, what I recommend, I think this one specifically is the best. I would turn off your HUD and I would do the same thing, activate the UFO, have the UFO animation, but have the HUD off so you don't see this message, and same with all the other clutter. So I think that's quite cool. Maybe mess around with the positioning, but I like the theme you have here. I like the theme. I like the idea. This is my favorite by far, my personal opinion. Thanks for letting me show these on stream. I'd love to hear chat's opinions. It's really cool to see like people's thought process when participating and submitting to events like this. Thank you again, Tallyhack. All right, we saved the old man, Mr. Fuji. Got the Poke Flute. Now we can wake up those darn Snorlaxes in the road. I'm surprised at how much Pokeyen I've made. I'm also like dodging a lot of trainers because my Pokemon are high enough level. I also wiped this account. Like, this is 32k Pokeyen just from Erica to now. I feel like the Pokeyen you earn from beating the storyline has actually been dramatically upped over the years, right? I feel like because you used to earn like 100 to 150k by the time you beat the like Elite Four or whatever. I feel like you get, by the time you, sorry, not beat the Elite Four, but by the time you get to the Elite Four, I feel like now you might get more. I'm kind of shocked. Oh, you're not wrong, Oso. That is true. It's the donut, well, the donor status money boost. It's 5% more Pokeyen from trainers. It's a small amount, but I'm sure it factors in. Well, I don't know. 5% is pretty minimal, but we'll see at the very end. I'm excited to calc at the very, very end. All right, I believe next up is going to be heading over to the bike route and heading down that path, waking up that Snorlax, which I'm pretty sure I'm just going to one-shot with my CC Lucario. So we're going to head over here, wake up the Snorlax with the Poke Flute, disrupt him a little bit. And if you use the, I don't know if I have the item finder on this account, but if you use the item finder on this spot the Snorlax is at, you'll get a free leftovers. You actually get 2 free leftovers in PokeMMO just by making sure you item find on this spot. So it's really easy to forget that. A lot of players forget that. I forget that for many years sometimes on certain accounts. Let me see if I can just click. I'm pretty sure you need to item finder, but I'm going to see if I can just click. Yes. Do I have the item finder? The item finder is an item you get from getting a certain amount of Pokedex entries and then talking to one of Professor Oak's aides in the region. So we're not going to have access to that yet. We'll have to come back in the future to that. So now we're going to move on to the bike route. This is really nostalgic for me. If you go up this little staircase to the left of Celadon, this guy would give you the amulet coin. Now, obviously, the amulet coin, as we know it nowadays, a consumable item that, is, it's not really worth anything. Back in the day, amulet coin was easily like 100k, like multiple, like a lot of Pokeyen, because you would do storyline runs to get it to then, it was a permanent item that you would put on your payday Pokemon to earn a little extra Pokeyen. Have I not? Oh, that's okay, be on my bike or whatever. But it's cool to see these like nostalgic things because I've done the Kanto storyline so many times because back in 2013, 2014, even a little bit of 2015, doing Kanto storyline runs was the best money in the entire game, aside from like, even back then, trainer reruns, but like back then they were called island runs. Fighting all the trainers on islands 1 through 7 were some of the best pure Pokeyen in the game back then. So it's funny that we still have trainer reruns to this day, but back then it was much different, and they were just called island runs. Let's go ahead and take on all these guys over a bunch of like Coughings and Wheezings and Venoshockmons and Grimers. Imagine if a biker IRL said, come out and play Little Mouse. To a 10-year-old, by the way. Problematic. To be honest, I hate those RP skull vanities. I wish they strayed away from edginess and did stuff more unique or goofy. I mean, okay, to be honest, I really like the flaming demon skulls, and I feel like if they're gonna do edgy, that's like the good, it's just like just beautiful edgy. But in general, I'm with you. I prefer goofy vanities. I prefer like big pink afros. I prefer the disco afro that's in like the gift shop or whatever. That's from Pokemon Coliseum, right? I prefer the Santa present boxes, the futus. Where's the hairstyle? Let me find that one sec. This is fucking awesome. Like, I love the lollipop. I like, you see on my main character all the time. I prefer looking goofy than, I prefer just, instead of trying to look serious and trying to look cool, which is so hard to do without kind of coming off a little cringe, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I kind of like just being goofy, just full on being silly and, you know, goofy and just trying to be ridiculous. I think that look is much funnier. It's kind of like an in-game clown, I guess, is much funnier to me. My Lucario is getting bodied. Wait a minute. This is a great question, Rabs JK, that there's not one answer to. At what point would you consider creating an alt? The answer to this question is not going to be reliant on at what point you're at or what progress you've made in the game. It's more of a mental one. At what point, when you want to make an alt, when you feel like you want to take PokeMMO very seriously, which not everybody wants. You want to, a lot of people just want to come home, play PokeMMO, play the storylines, have some nostalgia, have some fun. They're not worried about this. PokeMMO can become a job in a lot of ways. Any MMO can. MMOs can become a job in a lot of ways. But some people, that's kind of fun. It's kind of, it's that progression, that sense of progression. A game becoming a job isn't always bad. It's bad when it becomes a job that you feel obligated to do versus you're enjoying the progress, right? So I feel like whenever you want to start making alts when you have the energy and the drive to do so. If it becomes annoying and draining and exhausting, maybe stop or take a break, right? I think alt accounts are just super powerful, super amazingly good. I recommend, like, even if you, I mean, even like even casual players can make an alt and just use it as PC box storage. That's one of the best things you can do as a casual player is just make an alt account, use your account box, switch things over to it to store things there, store ditto boxes, store whatever, you know, whatever you want there. For a long time, you don't really need the extra PC space in PokeMMO, but you'll reach a point at some point where you'll need extra PC space. And it's nice to be able to, instead of buying super expensive, where are they at? Instead of buying super expensive PC box expansion drives, right? You could just go ahead and you get extra space for free with an alt account, which is awesome. All right, we made it over to Fuchsia City. I'm gonna go ahead and mark my spawn location by just walking into the PC really quick. Then I believe, I don't remember if we have to fight Koga first or make our way through the Safari Zone first. I never remember this. Let's just go try to do Koga. I have very powerful Pokemon, so I should be totally fine. Ooh, that's kind of it. Salamence is also the most used Pokemon right now in UU. Someone said, why is the nature for Salamence timid in UU? Does it go for special attack? I'm assuming it does if it's going timid, like that, you know, kind of, you know, but it's weird because Salamence is one of those Pokemon that has switched around. It's such a Swiss Army knife, similar to like Tyranitar. It switches around what it needs to do based on the metagame. So it seems like people are running it as, I'm assuming Draco Meteor Dropper. Like Draco Meteor, Dragon Gem, Life Orb, Naive, Timid. This is hardcore giving. Intimidate. Does it just count? Does it switch into like Lucario with no Ice Punch? Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know exactly what it's countering. Maybe it's a mixed attacker to take care of Hippodon as a wall. I can see that as well. Salamence is a weird Pokemon. Like, there's been times in the past where it's been a Dragon Dance sweeping physical attacker with Moxie. There's been times where it's usually a Rocky Helmet, bold Salamence, like a tanky Salamence, right? And now it's special attacking offensive. So we've seen, like, I don't know, we've seen special attack offensive Salamence, we've seen physical attack offensive, we've seen bulky bold, we've seen bulky special attacking. Like, Salamence can do a lot of things dependent on the meta, which is always like a good sign of a good Pokemon. Do you think we'll get an Ubers tier? Whether PokeMMO should have an Ubers tier is popping back up in discussion, which I think is kind of interesting. Historically, we've not had Ubers tier even back. We actually used to have an Ubers tier back in 2013, 2015, but it was just a ban list, right? So hilariously, things like Tyranitar, things like Dragonite, things like Chansey were in Ubers to be like on a banned list. Wobbuffet was banned for an extremely long time. Arena Trap Dugtrio, like these were Pokemon that were banned to Ubers back in those really early generations of PvP with like Gen 3 and stuff below for a long time. Now, if Ubers were to be added back, I don't think it would. I don't know if we would just use it as a ban list. I think we just have better structures for that. We actually have like a actual ban list. We actually have a ban list now, so we don't really need it for that. It would be more of a like actual tier of play, right? So with legendaries being added, Zapdos and such, the problem is it's possible. I think it's become more viable than ever to need/want an Uber's tier in PokeMMO. For a long time, it wasn't really needed. For a long time, it wasn't. It was just a ban list. It didn't really matter. Now we have this in them. But like the other problem is, are we ever going to add Pokemon that are uber powerful enough to be on that ban list that wouldn't make things broken for PVM, for money making, for the economy, etc.? I don't know. That's a whole nother question. Obviously, Darkrai is a temporary ownable thing. That's not usable in PvP, so I don't know. It's interesting to discuss, and it should be considered again, but I don't know if it's that viable right now. It'd be my main, I guess, position. I super agree with this sentiment from Mist. In my opinion, the gap between Johto release and Kalos release will be huge to adapt to the 3DS ROM/ISO, but the gap between Kalos and Alola is going to be a lot shorter. Yep, very similar to how they've added regions in the past. So for those who don't know, quick recap. PokeMMO has historically added a new region to the game every 2 to 4 years. I do believe that one day we'll get Gen 6. However, I think discussing Gen 6 is like a waste of time and energy right now. I don't think we're going to see anything about Gen 6 for like 4 more years, at least 3 more years minimum, probably 4 to 5. We're not seeing Gen 6 for an extremely long time, so it's more interesting to discuss things like endgame content, PVM, raids, dungeons, things that we can actually add and work on in the game right now. It's been a lot more of interest to me recently. Features that haven't been implemented, the bug catching games, I think that actually might have gotten added recently. The Sinnoh Underground is one I've talked about. I've heard talked about a lot. I don't know much about it, but I've heard a lot of interest in that. Yeah, hopefully that. Yeah, I think that's a much more interesting. It's better to talk about things that are actually plausible in the next year or two versus things that are 4, 5, 6 years out. You know, priority matters. All right, but I'm facing down Koga now, the 5th gym leader on this account. I'm going to go ahead and set up double sword stance and just look to hard sweep this guy. Should be able to one-shot everything from this position. Really, really, really easy gym fight now. This is a great question. Do you think the UI this year for Wisps and Pumpkats is early architecture for quests? I think it could be. Now, do I think it is? I don't know. I don't know how much quests are on the PokeMMO devs radar. They've traditionally wanted to stick to a more traditional Pokemon format, which doesn't have quests, obviously. So I think if you want, I would love to see it. I feel like it'd be better for the game for us to be a little less traditional and have those quests while still remaining. But you do lose something in that you lose less of the feeling of a traditional Pokemon game. But I feel like people aren't. I love PokeMMO, and I feel like it is in a good spot where it feels a lot like playing the games back in the day, but it's different enough. And I feel like quests fall in that different enough category as opposed to too crazy above and beyond loot boxes like Fortnite, you know, like sort of other metrics. So I feel like it would still make it feel like Pokemon. I feel like quests would be cool. The map is still the same. The sprites are still the same. I feel like that carries it a very, very long way. I would love to see quests personally, but I don't know if they're on the devs' radar. If I see anything, any change there, anything they say, any philosophy difference, then I would love to talk about it. But for now, I would say quests, I wouldn't hope on them. I think they're kind of off the radar, but I would love to see them personally. All right, Koga defeated, 5th gym badge achieved. I can just sprint straight over to the Safari Zone and run through that. One of my favorite things to do each storyline is running through the Safari Zone and doing, I don't know, it's so fun because most times when you're in the Safari Zone on a main account, you're just in like one spot grinding, right? This is like one of the few times where you're actually encouraged and incentivized to like explore the Safari Zone, which is a very, very cool zone and a lot of fun. Do you think the game would be more successful if they worked intentionally closer with their creators and helped them give early spoilers or access to give a... I don't know if the right thing would be creators, like with content creators, but I think that proper communication is the biggest critique and my biggest problem with the PokeMMO devs, and it's gotten a lot better over the past 2 years with Rach, the dev who's been going above and beyond and doing so much work, which I really appreciate. She's been really good about answering questions. But I've been saying for a long time, I think one of the best things the PokeMMO devs could do is hire someone to be an official. We have community managers, but we need like a community manager, if that makes sense, who is, it's kind of like the Archie of old school RuneScape, if you're familiar with that area, but like someone who like Ben Brode from Hearthstone, right? Someone who is a nice, charismatic, kind face who you trust and believe and is really there to tell you guys what's happening. He's there to be that communication link between the devs and between the community. Say, hey, make a dev post or a YouTube video or whatever saying, hey, this week the devs are looking at certain UI changes. We're actually looking at fixing the bag. We're looking at buffing, I don't know, Rampardos. Like, let us know what the devs are working on. Let us know what they're looking at. I think that's like really, really helpful and really important. The problem is that sometimes that creates like I think what the PokeMMO devs want the least is like false expectations being set and then failing to meet those. The PokeMMO devs historically never set deadlines and never make dates because they always end up missing them and because they don't like that feeling. Nobody likes that feeling, right? But like they're very extreme about it to that extent. But I feel like no matter if they set deadlines or not, I feel like that expectation is almost built up in the player's mind. Like what, and that's not really their fault and not their responsibility, but it just kind of happens. So I feel like if that's already happening, you might as well commit, right? In my opinion, I could be wrong. What do I know about being a developer? What do I really know, right? I'm just like, I only know my perspective. I don't know what's 100% correct. This is just my opinion, right? But I feel like having back to my point, a communal manager making a dev blog post once a month. I think RuneScape does it weekly, Magic Arena does it weekly. Having a dev blog post once a month, letting us know what they're working on, letting us know what they're looking at is super, super important. I think a lot of the frustrations from players when things like netball, I think the netball nerf is an amazingly positive thing and is statistically shown to be an amazingly positive thing. But a lot of players don't love it because maybe they just built a Vaporeon and they were looking forward to catching Dittos with that netball strategy and they just bought like 1,000 netballs or whatever and they just thought, and then it gets nerfed, like, oh, that shitty feeling of, oh man, like I just worked hard for this. Letting players know, like, hey, wink, wink, we're looking at netball. It may get nerfed in the future, so just keep in mind before you build any Vaporeons. Having that kind of ahead of time knowledge softens the blow so much when nerfs and changes happen. So I feel like that abruptness affects things a lot in PokeMMO. We don't get any communication, and then it just bam, something happens. Bam, boom, like updates, draw, whatever, right? If we had more communication to soften the blows, I feel like the community would have less visceral reactions. So to some extent, unfortunately, as a dev, you catch so much stuff just ends up being your responsibility, which sucks. It's very, very difficult and very unfair in a lot of ways, but it's something that is the developer's responsibility to try to communicate in a way that sets them up for success and not, it always sets up the audience or the viewer, the player base to have, negative visceral responses, right? I should be catching way more of the Pokemon in the Safari Zone. This is one of the easiest / best ways to get your Pokedex numbers up. I don't need to talk to a few of the NPCs in here. I just throw a rock, and then if it doesn't flee, I just go ahead and go for the Safari Ball. This is a good question for a PSA. Why do people buy Leppas on the GTL when you could always reliably find someone in trade chat who sells them cheaper? It's two things. Number one, convenience. Sometimes I just buy a few Leppas off the GTL because I just don't want to bother, going to trade chat, whatever. It's just quicker, right? It's faster, convenient, right? You'll pay that upcharge. But sometimes people just don't know. Sometimes people just don't know that if you go to trade chat, you can find someone who's selling Leppas for cheaper because you're dodging the listing fee. So they're making a little more Pokeyen by dodging the listing fee, and you're saving a little bit of Pokeyen. So if you buy a lot of Leppas and want to do a lot of Leppa shunting, it's definitely beneficial. I recommend checking out trade chat and doing trades in bulk with other Leppa sellers. Great question. All right, there is HM Surf, and then I also picked up the Gold Teeth. So it was always funny to me, you actually get 2 HMs in the Safari Zone, essentially. You pick up the Gold Teeth, which allow you to, I don't think I have them on that can learn Surf. Oh, Rampardos can. That's so funny. Yeah, of course Rampardos can. I'll teach it over that, sure. And I beat Koga so I can use it. So you get the Gold Teeth here, which you trade into an old man to get Strength HM, I believe, and then you also get Surf from that house up there. So we just got 2 HMs essentially. I'm so happy you asked this question. Is Dust Ball the best ball in game right now? The beautiful answer that I love to give is that there isn't a best ball right now. And I love when this is the case in PokeMMO. I think one of the coolest things is the devs actually work pretty hard on Pokeball diversity and using the Dusk Ball when you're in a cave or it's nighttime sometimes, or maybe you want to use Dream Ball when it's on the last turn of sleep. Maybe you want to use Ultra Ball if you don't have it for the Pokedex and you're not really in one of those situations. You could use Quick Ball if it's like a certain Pokemon. You could use Nest Ball. There are so Pokeball, if you false type sport, there are so many Pokeballs right now that are viable, which is awesome, which is a very, very good thing. If you asked me that question a few months ago, Netball. For the first time ever, for about a year time frame, If you ask me what the best Pokeball was in PokeMMO, it was Netball. Soak Spore, it was broken. Netball, everything Netball. Netball, blah, 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 blah. Netball was the answer, which was so sad to me because Netball was like, it sucked. You don't want that to be the answer. You want it to be varying depending on what you're farming, what you're catching. I think it's a much more diverse gameplay loop than always click Netball. So I'm really happy that we're back to most of PokeMMO's time frame has been, you know, it depends. And we're back to that, which makes me very, very happy. Very, very well balanced. Let's go talk to the old man who is just to the right of the Poke Center in Fuchsia. He pops in his teeth. Beautiful. Gives me access to strength. You can then use to go, we'll teach it on. Rampardos is kind of just becoming an HM friend. That's okay. So we move the boulder. What is it? Is this a rare candy? I always forget what this is. Let's see. Yeah, it makes sense to reward you like that. So we get 2 HMs, a rare candy, a lot of stuff done. Our 5th gym badge. Let's next move on to, I think just over to Saffron and probably go straight to take on Sabrina. We have a fair bit of crunch Pokemon. Actually, we'll have to, we're gonna have to do the Silph, my least favorite dungeon in the entire Kanto storyline, which is the Silph Co dungeon. We have to fight Giovani and stuff as well to get rid of them, to be able to unlock the Sabrina gym. So let's go work on that. My least favorite part of the Kanto storyline, but not too bad if you follow a guide. There's a guide on this on YouTube. It's like 1 minute and 50 seconds. So this is actually gonna be pretty easy / quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow the guide. And if you happen to be stuck at this part in your PokeMMO playthrough by the time you're watching this, the odds of that are insanely low. Leave a comment if that's you, because that's like so astronomically unlikely. But let's go ahead and follow. I'll show you guys what to do. A lot of you may already know this, of course. We're gonna head over to the elevator, take it down to floor number 5. There's a lot of floors in this building. Down to floor 5, it'll take us instantly. Head out here. I'm just following the YouTube guide essentially from GK Punk 8 years ago. Head over here. Wait, he's going the wrong way. What's he trying to figure? He's trying to figure something out. You head this way. Okay. I see. And I think it's the teleporter that you have to go through twice. So you head onto this, and you head back, and you go onto it again, and now you can move. I remember that. Now you can move east. And then the right over to the east over here will be the card key. And so right over to the east, right here in this Pokeball, will end up being the key card. And you take the key card, go back through that same teleporter loop, and then you can just go ahead and use this, make your way through here, go grab this Pokeball, and this is something. And then from here, we have to go figure out... Now I have to actually figure out where I have to go, to be fair. I don't actually know where to go from here. Okay, I found it through just randomly trial and error pretty quickly, pretty lucky. We do have to fight our rival Gary. So we're going to take on Gary. Go ahead, we're on floor 7, if that helps anybody stuck here. Take on Gary. The Lapras, the free Lapras is right here. I remember because back in the day, you could just... I don't think you can anymore. You could just run straight past this Lapras. You weren't forced to pick up this Lapras. So if you missed this NPC, you would just miss out on that Lapras back. You could like come back or whatever. But like back in the day, that was like considered, you know, lost or whatever. But nowadays, I'm pretty sure he walks up to you and gives you the Lapras. Okay, Nerd Gary absolutely destroyed. Smell you later. And the Lapras. So, oh, you can miss the Lapras. So you have to talk to this person. Okay. So yeah, make sure. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but make sure you talk to this person to get your Lapras. It actually is possible to miss the Lapras there. So I don't know, just a cool little thing. Easy Pokedex entry, you know, a cool little thing to pick up for like a pretty difficult Pokemon to catch for the most part. I might actually lose in this next fight, but you know what? We gotta try it. We gotta go for it. My Lucario is dead, which is my most powerful Pokemon here by far. My Porygon is fine, but like it's mostly like a bulky guy, and I think if I potion mid-battle, if I set up with Barrier, that might be the best strat. Set up with Barrier and look to potion. I'm like on par. No, I'm a little over-leveled actually. I'm gonna set up a Barrier. That's a special attacking Pokemon, unfortunately. I traced his Super Luck, which will give me higher crit chance, which is actually kind of nice. Here, I think I would just go for Discharge. If I have any X items, I would use those. I don't have... X Speed would be amazing here. Yeah, the problem is Porygon's pretty slow. And I'm not, so people ask me why don't I evolve into Porygon Z. Porygon Z is much better for the storyline. The reason I'm not doing that is because this is just a Porygon that I made for NU. I'm not going to destroy this comp Pokemon that I'm just kind of using for the storyline because I made it for comp, not for the storyline. I'm not going to destroy it just to make the storyline a little easier. The storyline will be plenty easy with the Pokemon I have. It should be totally fine. So here he's doing 26% to me. I almost want a potion here because if he crits, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. I have 1 super, 2 hypers. The super would do 60, heal me to... I'm going to go for this here. Because a crit would kill me. He's doing a lot of damage to me, though. I want him to be on a different Pokemon, so he doesn't kill... Okay, that's fine. It does do... Okay, I'm at a little higher percentage now. It should be fine. He didn't crit me at all, so super luck, like, didn't help him at all here. Just kidding. He has his own super luck. I'm going to try to... Don't crit. Okay. This is a tough fight. I live at 1 HP. I get the discharge off. I should... Dude, that's genius. I should just rename the Porygon to Porygon Z. That's kind of based. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Nothing's wrong. We're actually totally fine, guys. Now, I go for a Hyper Potion. It's worth to do so. I go for the Hyper Pot. He's gonna throw off probably some... Why is everything... I have a barrier set up, but everything is special attacking, and I get burned! Thankfully, the burn doesn't actually matter that much, so I'm special attacking, so it's mostly just, annoying. I'm gonna go for Tri-Attack here to see the damage, and then probably go for a Recover this next turn. Being slower in this fight is really destroying me, is the biggest problem. Everything outspeeding me is really, really, really tough. He does 25% with Earth Power. He could high roll. I'm going to go for a Recover here. He high rolls. Is this a crit? I'm getting fucking boned in this fight, actually. So he went low roll into high roll to lure me into a false confidence and then take me out. Okay. Rampardos comes in. I have Surf. Sure. I mean, I'm EV'd into Physical, but I'm going to go for the Surf. Oh, Earth Power just one-shots me. I think I'm going to lose. I have to max revive to not lose this fight, which might be worth it. But holy guacamole. Okay, to not embarrass myself further, I'm going to go ahead and go for the max revive on the Lucario. This fight did not go great. Let's say 9,000 hours. Still can't beat the storyline. Shake my head. Unbelievable. I know. Let's go ahead and... switch in here. I'm going to set up 1 SD. I don't think Earth Power should ever one-shot me if I'm level 47. There's no way. There's actually no shot. It does do 70% damage. Okay. I am risking it every step of the way. We're doing it for the content. Would crit have... I think crit would have killed me there. That would have been the ultimate karma. I think we're okay, fellas. I don't want to talk about it, chat. I don't want to talk about it. 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 You know what, fellas? I may have lost to Boss Giovani. Okay? But we are down, not out. I simply have to train, have to get stronger, and probably have to get an experience share to be able to do better. I'm going to grab a much stronger Pokemon sitting in my PC box. Why am I still using this Cut Oddish? I don't need Cut anymore, do I? We're going to get back at it. We're going to continue forward. We're going to head back all the way to Boss Giovani. And we are going to free that poor old man who was sitting in the bottom of Silph Co. His company, his legacy, taken over by an evil cartoon villain. And we're going to save the day. We're going to take back the company. We're going to save the old man. And we're going to save Kanto from Team Rocket's evil grasp. Fuck, I ran into a trainer on accident. Never mind, it's all doomed. After a long, hard venture and walk, we made it back. And this time, it's for keeps. This time, I'm actually trying. Tropium. This time, it's for reals, okay? People said, Patrouski, there's no way that you could beat Boss Giovani with only 9,000 hours in the game. It's just not enough experience. You aren't good enough. And you know what I say to them? I set up Swords Dance in the face of Nidoqueen. And I'm ready to take... Please don't kill me. I calced it. I knew that I would live. And I'm ready to take... Why does it have White Herb? Why is it so strong? And I said, you know what? I'm ready to take on this fight. I will hardcore sweep Giovani I will destroy him. I will become victorious. Not like the Nickelodeon TV show. I will go for the Hyper Potion here, as I feel as though it's the best time to do so. Nidoqueen's attack has been lowered, and I don't know if I one-shot otherwise. He goes for the Flamethrower, doing 43% damage. I'm gonna go for the riskiest Swords Dance you've ever seen. If I hit this, I think I can fully sweep. If the Flamethrower crits, maybe 9,000 hours wasn't enough. Just kidding. You know what? No. No! I refuse to lose like this. It's not over. Did I waste my most powerful Pokemon? Yes, I did. Very stupidly. However, we can go on. We can win. Sludge Bomb is very scary. I don't have an antidote. Please don't poison me. But Tri Attack does a lot of damage, doing 41%. We can take it on, fellas. We can do it. Please don't poison. Please, not again. Please. My reputation is relying on this. Please. Oh my god, people are gonna think I'm terrible. Please, no, please. Oh my god, we are so cooked. How about we all agree to never talk about this ever again, chat? Do we agree? Please? For my sanity? We are so cooked. Attempt number 3. Third time is... I didn't choose my lead Pokemon correctly. Great start. Third time's the charm, okay? This time, I'm doing it. This time for sure. I made almost no changes. But you know what? I bought some revives. Wait. The Kangaskhan lead. That's exactly... Wait, this is it. He will go for the fake out. And I have Quick Claw, huge. He will go for the fake out. I will go for the X speed on his fake out. Look at this. Watch this. Unbelievably read like a book. Unbelievably read like a book. And now we set up barriers. We use our Porygon like a one-man army. We set him up. Put him in. He Brick Breaks. It does almost no damage. We continue to set up. We will be unstoppable, unkillable, unbeatable. It will be unlosable. We are +6 defense, +2 speed. We go for the recover of a lifetime. And now we start spamming Tri Attacks and obliterating Kangaskhan and the little child in its pouch. I don't know. Sorry, I'm on something else today. 48% damage. It's not even that good. But you know what? We don't need to do that much damage. We're unkillable. We go for the discharge next to split up. We get a Quick Claw proc. Huge. To split up the PP as well as go for a para. I can't two-shot anyway, so I might as well discharge. Brick Break doing absolutely nothing to me. We go for another discharge. Kangaskhan is finally... How is that a 3-hit KO? Oh my god. I need a special attack. Special attack on this, but that's okay. We move forward. We go for the Tri Attack, doing 50%. We can two-shot the Nidoking. That is so important. Earth Power does 27. It's still a decent amount of damage. That is still a crucial amount of damage. We two-hit. The Nidoking is down. The Nidoking is down. I need an Eviolite. How much are Eviolites right now? I need an Eviolite for my Porygon very badly. That would like change the way this storyline is done. Nidoqueen comes in. Do we go for the recover or the Tri Attack? I think we go for the recover. Get full HP. See if it goes for superpower. See if it goes for Earth Power, Flamethrower, what it goes for here. Sludge Bomb doing 29%. Poison Chance is now in the game. We now have to worry about that, and we're only doing 36%. Nidoqueen is an absolute tank. We're barely doing any more damage in return. And they also have Poison Chance. We dodged 2 Poison Chances. We are faster. We get a nice... Come on, we have chance for Freeze, Para, or Burn. We have not hit a single status condition on our Tri Attack. We go for the final Tri Attack to take out the Nidoqueen. We have not had a single status from our Tri Attack. We want to recover against this next Pokemon. Honchkrow comes in. Just kidding. I think I just one-shot with Discharge. It's not worth getting caught by something. Here we are. It's working. Giovani's mom is not safe. That is true. I'm coming for her after beating this battle. Here it is. I do almost no damage to this thing. I'm going to recover. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to play it safe. What an intense fight. What a battle for the ages. Zap Cannon Rhyhorn goes bunkers. He gets the... Is that 100% pair? It might be 100% pair chance. We do 54%. This one is for the believers. This one is for everyone who ever believed in me. I had many doubters who said, Patrouski, surely 9,000 hours is not nearly enough time. Surely this bit has gone on for way too long. Surely this fight isn't that big of a deal. When in actuality, it took me 3 fucking attempts because I am terrible at the video game. But we did it. We conquered. We freed the old man. This evil boss will not be taking over any more companies anytime soon. Hasta la vista, Giovani. Well, easy peasy, guys. First try, not even hard. This is how your own runs should look. True and real. Just really easy fights, not a problem. The old man is free. Done in about 20 seconds, not 2 hours. Okay, let me get the fuck out of here so I don't have to ever come back. first things first. Let's get the hell out of here. And then secondly, let us have a little ceremony, a little ritual, because it is the end of the stream. Thank you guys for watching. A nice little wacky Friday stream. Some storyline progress was made. Very little. We did like, okay, to be fair, we did all 3 Kanto dungeons today. We did the Rocket Hideout in Celadon. We did the Lavender Tower. We did Silph Co. We got the Master Ball. We did the Safari Zone. We got 5 gym badges, 2 more. It wasn't that bad in actuality. We're kind of memeing a bit, but it's funny to meme on it. Whatever, right? I had a blast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys Sunday for the catch event competition as well as the fashion contest, okay? Be there or be square. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Much love to you all. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to see PokeMMO videos every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams like this Monday through Friday. Discord down below if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo are linked down below. They're very appreciated and help out a ton. I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace, Reno. Hey, what's up? Patrouski here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me, and if your name is listed here, that means you went above and beyond and supported the channel financially, which allows me to even be here and have the time to do this. So thank you so very much.